Welcome back, happy fabricators. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Prime Weld Bluetooth TIG pedal. Now the cool thing about this is going to be a 1-year review. Even though this thing is just launched, I was blessed enough to be a part of the beta testing of this thing, and I have had it for almost exactly a year. So I got it in early January of 2024. So it has been a year. So we're just going to go over the functions of this thing, what all it comes with, how it works, and how it compares to the factory pedal. So because I've had this thing for more than a year, I don't have the original packaging, so you're gonna have to trust me that it was greatly packed, just like everything else that Prime Weld has. But everything that came with was the pedal itself. It had a USB-C cord to charge the pedal with a wall wart. This isn't the exact same one, but the cool thing about it is it just takes your standard USB-C to charge this thing up. And then your Bluetooth receiver and the 12-volt power supply, or wall wart, whatever you want to call it, for your Bluetooth receiver. And that is about the gist of it. As far as scale goes on this thing, we'll show you compared to the factory Prime Weld pedal. So here is the factory Prime Weld pedal. So the Bluetooth version is just slightly longer and slightly narrower. Now the narrower was a little bit to get used to because I'm used to having this wider pad, but it is not the end of the world. But the extra length is super nice. The factory pedal is about 8.5 inches, whereas the new Bluetooth one is about 10.25. So you get that extra length to get more of your boot on the pedal. The other cool thing about this is it has a built-in heel hook. Now I don't know about you, but a heel hook is something that's very important for me for repetition and repeated accuracy. So just for concept-wise, being able to stick the back of your heel up against something the same spot every time means that the fulcrum underneath your foot is going to be in the same spot every time, and therefore you're going to be able to apply the same amount of pressure to repeat the same amount of amps that you've previously been using. Whereas if you're using a standard pedal like this, it's hard to, when this pedal's under the table, to put your foot on the pedal every single time, and therefore if you're slightly lower, you're going to move the fulcrum of where that pedal pivots, and therefore you might have to press down with your toes a little harder than you did the prior time to achieve the exact amount of amperage that you were doing on the same part you were previous. You get the point. Heel hook, good. A little bit narrower, indifferent, extra length, very good. So the first thing you got to do is get this thing charged up, get it plugged into the wall. It's got a charging port right here on the side, and you can plug it in with your USB-C, get it charged up, and then you're going to sync it to the wireless receiver. Now I believe you had to be hooked into the machine to pair these together, and to be perfectly honest, I don't remember the sequence. It was something like hold this button for 3 seconds, let go of it, turn that on. The usual pairing sequence, but I'm sure it will be in the instruction manual. I don't remember because I only had to do it once. I've unplugged it like this. I've never had to repair it to the thing, which has been great. And then as far as charging goes, the battery on this thing lasts forever. So I've had this thing for a year, like I was saying before, and I've only charged it 3 times, and I leave it on. I don't turn the thing off. It just sits out here in my shop. My shop is not really insulated, so it freezes out here, it gets hot out here, and I've only had to charge this thing 3 times. I should probably be more consistent at it because the 3 times it's died, I've been in the middle of a project, and it was kind of frustrating. But that's not their fault. That's my fault for not keeping up on my stuff. But that's why you keep your other pedal so you can plug your hardwired one in when you forget to charge your battery. But like I said, in a full year, I've only charged this battery 3 times, and I would say, I mean, this is my home shop, but I'm out here 2 to 3 nights a week welding, so I'm a extreme hobbyist, I would say. Like I do small production runs and have kind of side work here that I do in my shop, so it gets used very regularly, and that was something that was very impressive to me, that I only had to charge it 3 times. So as far as installation goes, it's super simple. You just plug your wireless receiver into the existing pedal control pins, and then plug in the Bluetooth receiver to a power source, go through the sequence that the instructions say to sync them together, and you're good to go. Now that last part about plugging in your wireless receiver to its own power is the first thing that I didn't really like about this pedal setup, because in my mind you're just kind of trading a cord for a cord, especially if you're moving your machine around on a cart. Now it's not so much if your machine stays stationary up against the wall, but if you're pulling your machine around the shop, you're literally just trading a pedal cord for an extension cord that you're dragging around the shop with you. So I really didn't care for that too much, but then I seen a gentleman on YouTube named Keith, and I'll drop his YouTube down below here and give him the cred because he's the one that found this. But there are these adapters here on Amazon, and I'll leave a link down to this in the description as well. What this does is this plugs into the back of the machine where your water cooler is powered, and it allows you to plug your water cooler in line with it, and along with that has a extra 110 port on it so that you can plug that power supply into there and everything can be contained and you don't have to run a separate extension cord to your machine to be able to run your wireless pedal. Now that's a solution for you guys that already have your machines, but being so, this was still in testing and they hadn't launched yet, we were able to give that feedback back to Prime Weld, and they listened and they put a 12-volt port right beside the pedal pins so that you don't even need this little pigtail if you're buying one of the newer machines. But in the event that you already have a machine, this is a great resource that you can get up and running and not have to run that extra extension cord. Other cool things about this pedal is it's super responsive, and it honestly took me a little while to get used to because it is so sensitive, but in the end I like it better because when I'm doing finite work I like that sensitivity and it to be super crisp, and it is very crisp. There is zero delay in startup. Like, you bump this thing and it fires right up even on low amperage. It's super cool. It's just immediate response, just like it's a wired cord. Like I said, it's a little more sensitive than the wired cord, in fact, though. So you have to just be careful that you be very conscious when you stick your foot on it that you're not putting a little bit more pressure. Because that fulcrum is further back, it takes less pressure to initiate that arc and trigger the switch inside. As far as range, I've had it out to the full range of my TIG leads, which are 25 feet. I don't know why you'd need it out further than that. I haven't personally tested out further than that, but I have not had any problems with any sort of interference of other EMI issues or anything like that in the shop, or affecting any Bluetooth things in the shop. I a lot of times weld with Bluetooth earbuds, and sometimes Bluetooth interference will happen with that kind of stuff, and I have not had that problem running this pedal at all. It has never interfered with my weld at all. The only time that it has quote unquote had interference is when I didn't charge the battery and the pedal died, and that was my fault, not their fault for not charging my pedal. But all in all, I would highly recommend this pedal. It has had very little wear. I am pretty hard on my pedals. I like to weld standing up a lot of times, so I kind of kick them around my table. Probably the most wear is that little rubber foot has just a little bit of wear on the angle for it, and same on the back one. And that is because one of my quirks is I usually weld counterclockwise around my table. So that makes sense. The leading edge of the pedal, as I'm like kicking it around the table like this, that the leading edge of that rubber is a little bit worn out, because for some reason that's the way I wander, is I wander counterclockwise when I'm welding stuff around my table, and then I make a couple laps and have to untangle all my leads and then start doing it again. As far as if I have like a small chassis or something like that that I'm welding and I'm jumping around to minimize distortion and or temperature that I input into the part. And my floor is not a smooth concrete floor either. It's very rough. In some spots it's like cobblestone. So that's a good testament to the durability of this as well, because it's got kicked around like this on the floor quite a bit and it has held up very well. It's all sheet metal. It's got a plastic cap on the front, but besides that, it's completely press broke sheet metal. So overall, I would definitely recommend this pedal. I do not know what the overall price point is going to be when they launch it, but if it's anything like all the other Prime Weld products, I have faith that it's going to be very competitive and reasonable for the market. So hopefully this was helpful in furthering your decision on whether or not this is the pedal that you want to run on your machines. Like always, if you guys want to see more fabrication content, click some of the links that are going to pop up here. If you want to be notified of upcoming videos, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. It's free to do so, and go build something, guys. Hey, just a quick note. Only about 25% of you guys that watch my videos are subscribed, so go hit that red button and the little bell so you get notified.